I'm going to serve cheesy ricotta fritters with a rich tomato sauce. Now this tomato sauce is fantastic because I'm adding different flavours to it. I'm adding cinnamon and clove to this, and it really does go nicely with the tomatoes. Now in a medium to small pan, I'm just going to heat it up and add some olive oil, so good quality extra virgin olive oil, because it's going to also be the basis of this sauce. You want to taste the olive oil in it, so a nice amount in the bottom there. And once this heats up, I'm going to add the garlic. Now just bruise the garlic and then finely slice it. I want this to be about the tomatoes. I want to taste the richness of the tomatoes, and I want to taste the sweetness of the tomatoes, so I don't need to do too much to it. So in with the garlic, and at this stage it's warm, so it's not too hot. If this oil's too hot, then it's going to burn that garlic, and I don't want that at all. So just allow that to almost confit a little bit with a little bit of salt. And when it just starts to sizzle, as it is now, I can add these crushed vine-ripened tomatoes. Now, just 1 can of tomatoes is necessary for this. Try to use Australian if you can. And I'm going to add some more salt now, just to show off the tomato flavour there. Also, 1 fresh bay leaf, and for the spices, so a hint of clove powder and a hint of cinnamon. I'll also add a good crack of pepper. Great, now I'm just going to swirl this pot, and then this is going to go on a low heat now to allow this to simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes, just so it thickens up a little bit more. And that gives me just enough time to get onto the fritters. Now I start with 500 grams of whole milk ricotta. Don't use any of that light milk ricotta because it's too crumbly. You need these to hold their shape. Into this, I'm going to add 1 egg. And before placing it directly into the ricotta, I'm just going to whisk it lightly. Perfect, that can go in. And to ensure that these hold nicely, I'm going to add some instant polenta. I also like it because it gives it a little bit of a coarse texture, which is nice for this. And a good amount of pecorino cheese here. I'm just going to grate it straight onto my board first. It's not only for the flavour, but the cheese will also act as glue for these ricotta fritters. Plenty. And in. And then the zest of a whole lemon. And then this is where you can become quite adventurous at home. You can add lots of different flavours, different spices, or some heat to this, some smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, even a little bit of fresh chilli is wonderful at this stage. Okay, now I'm going to just break this up and mix it with a fork until it's really well combined. Now, depending on what ricotta you use, you may need a little bit more or a little bit less of the instant polenta. This is what we're looking for though. See how it's just holding onto the fork? I can see how light it is, so don't over mix this. All right, that's how easy this mixture is. We can get on to frying this in a nice big pan just like this. I've been heating it up over a medium heat. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Just coat the base of this pan. And using 2 spoons, I'm just going to scoop up some of our mixture and gently lower it into the pan. Now these are going to cook for 1 to 2 minutes on each side, or until they're golden brown. These have become lovely and puffy, crispy on the outside. They're still a little bit delicate, which is fine. That's how I want them. I want them to be light as clouds. Now, if you don't have any polenta, you can definitely substitute the polenta to flour. It also works. So I'm just going to get the last few of these out and just drain them on some paper toweling like I'm doing here. And now we can start plating up. So I like to get a big spoon and serve this rich, flavoursome tomato sauce in the centre of the plate. And I'm just going to put a few of these onto the plate. Just go around in a rose pattern. The last one, squeeze in there. And then I love a little bit of herb with this. You can use some parsley, dill, absolutely beautiful with these tomatoes, or some fresh mint. Look how gorgeous this mint is. This is actually from my neighbour's garden. You can see the difference because it's so dark in colour And then I'm just going to pick that straight off. A little squeeze of lemon if you like, or just eat that as is. This is fantastic as an entree, but it's equally as fantastic as a main. You've got the richness of the tomatoes there, and it's got so much flavour. If you're going to have this as a main, all you need to finish this off with is a nice crispy salad.